What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Microtopia. And this episode is going to be a bit different because I lost so much footage. Uh, when I went to edit everything, it was just, there was no microphone. So I only had the raw footage with no voiceover. So that was me explaining things that I was doing and they didn't get heard. So here we are, much later, much longer, and much further beyond where we were in our last episode. And even though things may not look very much different here, they are slightly different. As you can see, we've switched the side of the incubation chamber, and we added this kind of failsafe along with a bunch of other things, these carry gates, to help us prevent anybody from leaving here with a larva. We always want them to be, we would rather lose an ant than lose a larva, right? We'd rather lose an ant that's at the end of its life than lose a larva that's at the beginning of its life. There's much more potential in that new ant than there is in the old ant, so sacrifice. But we have changed the setup because we are accumulating more larvae than we can use at any given time. It always overflows, essentially, because half of these are not in use. And one thing I haven't spoken about yet that I want to talk about is the breakdown of why we chose essentially 10 with this extra overflow incubator, which will help us once we've begun using all of these slots to their full potential, which could be soon, could be a little bit further away, but until then we're doing great. But anyway, why did we choose 10 and what does it mean? Well, as you can see here with our max population, which we are desperate need of improving, we'll get at that and how we're going to achieve that shortly. We have 11 larvae per minute being produced by our queen, and that means that this one gets 1.1, this one gets 1.1, etc., down the line. Every larva chamber, every larva storage and incubator gets 10% essentially, and it's 10 because it's a nice even number. You could choose 4, everyone would get 4, but for everyone would get 25%. I mean, you could choose 5, everyone would get 20%, and so on and so forth. But for me, I like 10. It gives me some chance to spread out, and that's something that we have done in the meantime. Since the last episode, we've spread out quite a bit. We've unlocked quite a bit as well. I should show how far we've gone in unlocking things. We unlocked the recycler, facility, concrete monument, which you've seen placed. We're all the way up to Slinger and a bunch of different gates. We'll talk about some of the gates in shortly, because I have improved and updated a lot of things. One thing that I did do, and one of the main themes of this playthrough, is going to be decentralization. And how are we going to basically utilize all the space that we have efficiently and effectively, because that's another resource, right? We have a bunch of different resources in this game that aren't really apparent until you think about them. So we really want to take advantage of all the space that we have and unlocking different areas by accumulating resources, right? It's easy to store resources. Eventually we get extremely large storage, so that's not a problem. But what did we do here with this setup? So let's take a look. Let's dive deep into this outpost here, and we'll let it run for a minute and see what happens. So here we have a birthing chamber that's always monitored by one ant. The first thing that happens in any sub-colony that we are ever going to utilize on any island is going to be that it's going to check to see if it can come into the birthing pod, because what we don't want to have happen is, we always want there to be having ants being born, right? So we don't want there to be a time when this area is empty, essentially. And one of the fail safes we've done, or some of the things we've done, is we've added oh, I guess I should say that this dispenser here is connected to one of the myriad larva storage, and as they get reset up, then they'll get more. But essentially, like I said, it's going to get 1.1 per minute. And then again, so some of the things we've attached to this pheromone trail is an exit gate, which is only when they're old. They'll work here until they're old only. And then we set up a condition that if they are still carrying anything, they must re-enter and try to get it to be birthed again. Because, again, elder ant, not as important necessarily as a newborn ant, but, you know, everything serves its purpose. Now, this little thing, doohickey here, is what we call a counter end gate. We may have spoken about this in the last episode, but probably not. Watch, like this perfect timing. Oh, just missed it. Counter end gates allow you to add a little bit of complexity, because if we were to remove this counter end gate, the carry gate that we've added here actually acts as sort of like a connector that connects the entire trail beyond it. So anything beyond this point on the trail would also be included in this portion of the trail, which would be devastating, because anytime we have an elder gate, an elder ant wandering through our elder network, we are going to be potentially without an ant in here, and that's going to really prevent us from fully utilizing our capacity, right? And that's again something that we really want to avoid. So that's just the first step in what we've done in our outpost colonies. Let's take a look at the next thing here. And basically this outpost is basic production. Okay, so it does iron blocks, it does fabric, and it does the most basic doohickey with copper, which we're processing on the desert island way over there. Anyway, this is going to be our default trail for production. It's essentially our nested counter gate, no carry gate. Good thing that I zoomed in, because I realized something was wrong there, and that's because I placed these in the incorrect position. This one's supposed to be there, that one's supposed to be there, but just because of the way the trail was working, I figured I should go over here. So anyway, let's continue with the description of this trail. So again, this begins in a complex manner. We have attached a stockpile gate to our subcolony's basic colony loop, and it's attached to all the way over here to this fiber stockpile. And as long as it has more than 0 in there, they're going to be able to walk through. And all 3 of them are going to be working at any given time. As you can see, the green trail highlights the fully connected trail portion that we're wanting to maintain a steady population in. And the nested part of the counter gate allows for, you know, a little bit more complex interplay of the trails, but only for that one individual ant. Okay. Then, and again, that lets us break down the trail in efficient ways to give us workstations, essentially, that only do certain things. As you see here, it takes 2, maybe, me and you. It takes 2 fiber to make a fabric, and then only once it's carrying a fabric really can it leave its workstation and then drop off its payload and then go again. We always go again. Now, as with the basic colony gate, our basic colony ant production line here, we have some exits. This one's a bit more complex because again we have storage that we're contending with. This has, at the beginning of each of these individualized nested counter gates, we have a elder gate, because one of the things we want to prevent is any elder ants from going into this trail. We don't want them to have to wait, because it takes, I think, let's see how much time. It takes 20 seconds, and like this ant is about to turn gray. It's about to become an elder ant, and if it has to wait 20 seconds in there, doesn't benefit us at all. We really want it to get to its destination as quickly as possible, because, again, we want to utilize all these ants. They still have purpose after they become elderly. So we want them to exit as quickly as possible and leave. Now, we have this counter end gate just because we don't want to, we don't want to muddy the waters. We just want to keep all of our setups as neat and tidy and as similar as possible. That way it keeps our mindset, in the correct mode, right? Now, as in this, again, we have the elder exit gate, but we also have another exit gate, and that is for when this stockpile is full, because we don't always want them making fabric. We don't need it. We don't need it all. We don't always want them to make iron blocks. I mean, yes, we need tons of iron blocks, but we don't always need it if we're managing our supply properly, which is one of the challenges, many challenges in this game. And, we did the same thing on this gate here, which appears to be empty, so we'll drag this little ant over here so they can get to work. Yeah, somehow, because we're at max population, right? We need to work on getting all these ants into... Damn, we got so many of these inventor ants too. This is crazy. But we need to work on getting the queen more food. That's really the problem. And we also have these digger ants collecting rubble. I mean, they don't really have to at the moment. But we'll allow this. We'll allow this. Let's go ahead and check out what's going on in the desert island as well. Oh, we need a lot. Yeah, we need to get some of this stuff. So, here, on the end of the previous episode, we had just recently colonized this island. We have a bunch of things we need to do. We really need to tap this glass. Yeah, I said that, baby. Tap this glass. We need to get glass going, because that's going to allow us to fully utilize our population. But one of the things that we needed to do here is we needed to set up basic production, because every colony on every island needs basic production at all times. They're going to be producing things and, shipping things back and forth, and they need them to always be working. And there's also certain things that only you can find on certain islands, and here is one of them. We need to do a thing here. I can do it with you on camera. And it's hard to tell where things begin and end in this one. Oops. What we really need to do is get some organization, and we barely have any materials, and we need so many of these, but we just haven't been able to produce them yet. And that's because we don't have... I see, we need to do this. We always need to keep that one full. That's the problem. Okay. So, having said that, we have produced a larger colony doing many things. In fact, it's exporting one of its primary goods, copper, being copper. For the moment, this is the only place we can find copper on any island, is this one. But we need to get over here. We need to get the glass, and the other one we need to get off this island is energy pod 2s. Because if we look at our inventory and we see here energy pod 1s, they give 1 energy when consumed. If we look at energy pod 2s, they give 3. And that's a net energy gain, right? And if we can send these energy pods, which we can, because look at our fleet of drones, it is massive, right? If we can send these back and forth to this island, we can utilize them better for the queen's benefit, right? She needs, above all, to be fed. Because without her, we don't have any ants, period. And we're not utilizing those pods, or those energy pods over there for anything anyway, so may as well utilize that resource while we can. Eventually we'll be able to do more with them and stuff like that, but we don't need to worry about that just yet. Anyway, this is going to be, again, a bit of a shorter one. I just wanted to kind of recap what we've been through, what we're doing. Maybe the only thing I haven't shown is what we've done with our graveyard, and that's how we've split it up, right? Essentially what happens is, so from this one here, all small ants that are born here, they go into this. It's weird that they're dying here. I don't understand. But all small ants go back into this large worker creator, and they get pumped back into the system, because we, more than anything, we need we need this one to not die out, even though it's bound to at this point, because until we can get enough energy sourced into our queen, we can't up our population or anything. We're stymied by these, and I guess what I could do is this one that isn't being used. These ones we can just send them away, and they can just, eventually work their way out. Yeah, I think that's better. But anyway, we have a lot to do still. We have made excellent progress, but not quite enough. We need more over here doing things and securing the colony. But until then, oh, and there's one thing that I also wanted to say. Between having a full-time job, a full-time family, and a full-time sleep schedule, it's very hard to make this kind of edited content that I really enjoy doing. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing it. It just means that maybe we'll be able to produce one of these episodes a week instead of 3 a week. And I'm going to try my hardest, but no guarantees, because again, I still have a family that is extremely important to me, wife and children, and they come first. But at the end of the day, like I've said many times, this is for them as well to laugh at eventually once time passes and they appreciate it. But at the same time, I enjoy having everybody with me in this journey. I'm grateful for all my subscribers. We recently received our 20th subscriber. I'm gonna pick up that name really quickly. Bear with me just a second. Jason Samard, thank you very much for joining the channel. Subscriber number 20. It's been an incredible little journey so far, and I'm grateful to see where it goes in the future. Thanks for watching this episode of Microtopia, and thanks for all your support on the Let's Play. This game is really fun, and I'm grateful to get my ideas out there for everybody. I hope that people learn some things, and yeah, I hope they can implement them in what they do in their own playthroughs. So again, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Until then, take care.